Do you struggle with trying to understand what shoes to wear for what kind of sport or what kind of activity? If you did, you were like me. I've been like that for the last long time. I've gone to the extremes with footwear. I've gone to the point where I did things barefoot. I've gone to the point where I did things with maximal cushion, and then I've gone to doing things with minimalist cushion. So I'm going to give you guys some of the whys as to why I choose certain footwear and for what activity or what sport. And by sport, I don't mean like turf sports or I'm not talking hockey, soccer, rugby. I'm talking about weightlifting and things like that. So number one, we're going to jump into this. I've done a lot of sports that involved a lot of time around CrossFit and weightlifting and strongman, powerlifting, that kind of stuff, lifting and moving heavy weights. What I have found works the best for that is something with a raised heel. This is which Nano is this? I think it's whatever ideation of Nano, but these Reebok shoes are unreal. I've had 3 or 4 pairs of these. What I like about them and why you want a high, or why it's advantageous for a lot of people to have a high heel to toe composition. So that's called a heel drop or toe drop. You can see that the heel is actually higher than the toe. The reason that this is advantageous when you're doing any type of lifting is it puts your heel at a greater height, which improves the quote unquote the dorsiflexion in your ankle, which makes things like squatting low, squatting deep, doing low lunging, getting low easier, okay? Because you bypass some of that range of motion, and a shoe like this can help you. Another reason I like this shoe is that it has a wide toe base. You can actually see from this angle that the toe width is the widest of the whole shoe. Why I like this is because what I learned from coaches in the past is that you actually need room for your fucking toes to open up, and a lot of shoes will market this, market against this, that it's even a thing. So when you're looking for shoes, whether you have wide feet or not, shoes come in different widths. Sometimes shoes offer different widths even in that same shoe. So look for something with a wide toe base because it's important for your toes not to feel crunched in. If you look at my feet, you can see how this little toe is basically just fucked. I have to do a lot of mindfulness to get that foot span, the toe span a little wider, which makes my toe base the widest part of my feet. And I happen to have moderately narrow feet. Okay, so when you're doing any type of lifting, squatting, if you're on a platform, if you're doing weightlifting, if you're doing CrossFit, something with a heel raise is pretty helpful. Okay, so I would recommend the Nanos. There's tons of different ideations. Trail running. Okay, so I've done lots of different trail running. I've done some 50K ultras. I've done some sensory deprived runs, lots of trail running. What I've found so far is that something with a minimal heel to toe drop or a 0 toe drop is actually working really well for me. So what that means, so you look at this shoe, this is from Ultra as a brand. I think I'm saying that right. From heel to toe, there's no drop. So in a lot of running shoes, they have a taller heel and it gets down into a narrower toe. The advantage here is that the technology is supposedly that it projects you forward, and running is a momentum based movement. So we would want that energy transfer from heel to toe, which would propel you forward. I don't know enough of the science on these shoes to say that that's not the case. I know how they feel on my feet, and this feels like it makes a lot more sense because my everyday shoe, my everyday movement with my foot is minimal. Meaning that there's not a whole lot of, like, I don't have chunky heels on all my shoes. I don't walk around in shoes the full day, and I have minimalist footwear, which means there's a very low cushion, and you're meant to feel the earth more. You're meant to feel things more and be closer to the earth, which makes your feet work harder and becomes a bit of a training modality for your feet. So what I like about these shoes is, again, really wide toe base. So my feet can actually move in these. This is one of the first things I do when I'm trying on shoes, is if I can't move my toes, I literally say, fuck that shoe, I'm not interested. I don't care if the price is great, if it looks awesome, if it feels great. Other than that, I'm not interested in it. I have some like almost brand new shoes sitting in my cupboard that I'm basically giving away because they're narrow here and it pinches off my toes. And they're Gore-Tex, they're awesome shoes, but they're just narrow here. And I just can't be about that. I need the shoes to be wide enough, or I'll just go barefoot. So this is a wide toe base. The heel to toe is awesome. The durability so far is really good. And they also have this kind of cool feature in these ones. This, what is it called? A rock track, stone guard, not even close. This extra little insert that's supposed to help protect from, you know, sharp rocks penetrating your foot. So I would recommend something like this. The third I'm gonna go with is kind of the everyday shoe. So I'm gonna give a mixed review on these Zero shoes. So far I've reviewed the Reebok Nanos. They have a ton of different Nanos. I have a specific set of weightlifting shoe in this that I wear only when I'm weightlifting, which is very uncommon nowadays. But so Zero, here are some of the benefits. There's lots of studies online, lots of testimonials. I like these because they're minimal. You can literally fold these up, fucking huck them out your window. I like this feeling. I don't want something that's really rigid and telling my feet what to do. So again, in these, you can't see, but it's a flat shoe from heel to toe. It's the same level, so there's no drop. This is also a minimalist shoe, which you can tell by how flimsy this is, that it's meant to be like good earth contact. Your feet can move well. Wide toe box again, so that's the commonality in all these shoes, is that my toes can actually move because I give a shit about that. They fit pretty well. They're just not that durable. I would say this is my 4th pair of Zeros and they're just not that durable, but I like the way they fit. I like the way they feel. If you can, whatever you're doing, whether you're walking, running, fucking weightlifting, CrossFit, get something where your toes can move. That's important regardless of what you're doing. So your toes being able to move like this, which is hard for me, but if your toes are getting cramped, Kelly Starrett calls shoes foot coffins. It's because it basically traps and limits mobility and muscles, and parts of your foot become inhibited because they don't actually have the space to move. It's kind of like wearing a really stiff glove for hours and hours a day and years. So it makes sense that your feet look and function like garbage. Like mine are on the mend from. So wide toe base, I recommend something with not a whole lot of heel cushion, especially for at least some of what you're doing. So even if it's just, you know, you in a gym or you doing your exercise and stuff like that, if you have a pair of shoes that's not heavily cushioned, I think that one of the benefits of that could be that you get a little bit more foot dexterity, you get a little bit more foot control, and you get a little bit more mindfulness that your feet have to do something or can do something. So yeah, those are a couple of the common features. I hope this video helps, but that's what I do with my training. And right now my training involves lots of walking and biking, which I generally wear something like this for because it doesn't require a whole lot. That's me on the road bike. Requires me to do a decent amount of trail running because I am trail running for a 21K ultra on a mountain. So that's gonna be a lot of trails. And then when I am in the gym, I'm either barefoot, even though they don't like that rule. I'm either barefoot, I guess it's more me that doesn't like that rule, barefoot, or I like something like this because I can still move my feet, gives me some stability, and obviously the tread's not super aggressive. It's great for the gym. And one benefit to these shoes is they actually all look good in my opinion. Like they look decently sporty. They don't look like ASICS shoes have looked for the past like 30 years. They actually have some people that are trying to make their shoes look good. Hope this video helps. Let me know if you have any questions.